Hello everyone, my name is Laura Faye and I made The Merry Fairy, a cozy scrapbook journal simulator set in a fairy tale environment. A few days ago, actually on Monday, I launched the 14th update since launch for my game, and this update brings new content. I would say quite a lot of new content, chief among it being a collection of mandalas and backgrounds that I painted by hand. I also added more pictures from Fairyland in the Fairy camera, and I am very happy to say that there is a brand new stickers page with decorations from another game called Pieced Together, and me and the Glowfrog team are collaborating now, and we launched a bundle, and they also were kind to offer me these stickers to have in the journal that you can use. I want to create a journal spread so I can show you the new content, but I want to mention the fact that I am pretty I'm having some sort of a cold and a rather bad eye, so this presentation is a little bit difficult for me. So as I am using the new content that I added with the latest update to create this journal spread. For those of you that accidentally stumbled upon this broadcast, The Merry Fairy is a cozy scrapbook journaling game set in a fairy tale environment. And I like to say that for an untrained eye, this looks and feels and is an indie game. But for a magical creature like me, I am a forest fairy. So for a magical creature like me, The Merry Fairy is not truly a game. It's more like a portal that I enchanted so that you can come and visit my cottage, and specifically my office. The Merry Fairy is a very soft and calming experience. There's nothing to discover, to explore, to win or to miss out on. Everything is freely available. And the point of my invitation to you to come and spend some time in my office, in my enchanted office, is that I want to invite you to practice the art of scrapbook journaling. And the reason that I think that you might enjoy practicing the art of scrapbook journaling is because it is one of the most powerful ways to explore your inner self and discover your magic. I personally journal a lot, both in my game, which you now know it's not really a game, it's more like a portal, and in I use physical journals. And there is quite a lot of scientific research behind the idea of journaling and scrapbook journaling too. It's a practice that is deeply enriching and meditative, and I don't know how to describe it. I journal a lot, and I didn't journal always, but when I started it really helped me a lot in my life. And it's one of the reasons for why I enchanted the Merry Fairy into a portal, so other magical creatures like me can journal. Another reason is that I think allowing yourself to go deep within your heart and practice introspection and knowing yourself. The concept of knowing yourself is something that haunted human beings since the ancient Greek times, at the very least. Noscete ipsum. I think that is a courageous and deep and important quest that one can do, especially a magical creature that wants to discover their special powers. And it's such a difficult quest that not many decide to embark on it. And if you do decide to embark on the quest of discovering your own magic, at least in my case, it was absolutely crucial for me to have a space where I feel safe and where I feel peaceful and relaxed. A space that has only enchantment and magic and peace and abundance and serenity. So there is nothing that can distract me from the quest of discovering my own magic, and nothing that would make it easier for fear to take over and make me think like maybe I should do something else. It's rather hard to talk about it, and I suppose I'm having a hard time showing myself to you and showing my creation to you. Fairies are notoriously shy. But I hope that this is useful. I am making these videos because I want to be very clear and transparent with what the Merry Fairy is and what the Merry Fairy is not. So as if I were to say, like, if I were to present this as a product, it is a scrapbook journaling indie game made by me with the occasional help of a friend who programmed the game, and who is a wonderful person, and there's not a day going by that I don't think how grateful I am that he is in my life and he's helping me so much with my game. Yeah, the Merry Fairy is essentially my home. It's a digital version of my home. It's a digital version of my own office. It does look and has quite a lot of things in game that are a close reproduction to what I have right here in real life. And I designed it so that I can feel safe and inspired to add collections of decorations and wisdom of everything that I find inspiring and uplifting and interesting. So far, I have added several books. The first book that I have added in the game was the guest book, and it was a collection of journal spreads where any decoration could be picked up and used. Then there are fairy letters, and every letter contains a sticker. Then in the stained glass window available towards the left, that window, you will get visits from my whimsical friends, and they tend to knock on the window every 30 minutes or so. It's a design inspired by the Pomodoro technique, so you can take a break from journaling and introspection every half an hour. And right now, 3 of my whimsical friends are visiting you. All of them are based on real characters that are in my life. One is the caretaker. He's a shape-shifting fae who sometimes is just a fox and other times looks like a young boy. And then there's the wish tree, whom is an enchanted pine cone that grants great wishes, and who is a magical creature that sometimes uses dried form to come and visit you. And then there's Skogan, the most amazing cat in the world for me, my friend. And Skogan is a very energetic, happy, blunt cat that is an expert at enjoying life. Skogan means shadow in Swedish. And by the way, if I haven't mentioned this before, Fairyland is real, and the Merry Fairy is real. That it's my home, and geographically my home is located in the west of Sweden, somewhere in the middle of nowhere, at a very, very old farm, close to the forest that I love. And when I'm not adding more, when I'm not developing and enriching the Merry Fairy digital experience, I often garden a lot and cook and make jam and pickles, and I sew my own clothes, or like I'm learning to, and I crochet and I knit, and I go in the forest and I forage. And today I actually picked nettles and made nettle tea. And I also picked kishkol is called in Swedish. In English it's called ground elder, and it's a leafy green that, like, many people say it's a weed. I don't believe there are such things as weeds. Anyhow, but in any case, ground and elder is a perfectly eatable plant. It's very rich in vitamins and minerals, and it can easily replace spinach. So I went and picked some nettles and some ground elder, and I think I'm gonna make some ground elder stew later on. But we will see. I have not decided yet, and I haven't picked that much because the leaves are still quite small, and this is the time when they are tastiest, when you pick them when they're small and very, very green. But you also kind of need to pick a lot of them to make a proper stew, and I didn't pick that many. The Merry Fairy is my home, and this is why it's more of a living kind of experience. I like to update my game often, and usually, like, I add a lot of new decorations, and the decorations that are available in the Merry Fairy are a lot of pretty graphics, of course, like pretty pictures that I draw or take pictures of, or create in Illustrator, or scan, or I create them somehow. But there are also a lot of quotes from my favorite authors and philosophers, and old proverbs and everything. And you also have something called soul candy, which is a candy jar where if you click on it, you get a random so-called affirmation. I think of it as something sweet for the heart. And I added a lot of new soul candies too in the latest build, by the way. And I also fixed a bug because I didn't realize that some of the soul candies were not displayed. So that's fixed. So you have all sorts of stickers, and you have backgrounds, and you have hand-painted backgrounds and photographs that I take in the forest or in the garden. And you have frames and washi tapes and all sorts of decorations that you can use in many ways. And with the latest update, I added mandalas. Drawing mandalas in itself is a very soothing form of magic for me. And when I got the idea that I will have a whole page of mandalas in the Merry Fairy, and I started to draw them, I'll be honest, I could not stop. So the mandalas that you see, like 99% of them are made in aquarelle, and some of them I made so it's just a quarter of mandala and you can tile them and you can combine them. I know many of my guests are extremely creative and surprise me so often with the decorations that I'm launching, and I am so happy every time I see your creations, and I feel so inspired. So you know who you are. Thank you so much for doing this, and you inspire me beyond words. Besides decorations and pictures and washi tapes and frames and backgrounds and quotes and affirmations and all of that, there is also... I forgot what I wanted to say. Since when I journal, it's not only important that I am in a place that feels safe and enchanted and magical, but it also... I'm very particular when it comes to setting the vibes, and maybe you can see my background a little bit. I have a lot of lights, small lights here and there, and fairy lights, and a lot of candles, far too many candles. But I do love to light candles and incense and have soft lights around me, so that's exactly what there is in the digital office as well. You can light candles, you can change the weather, and you can even start the fairy radio. And sometimes I really like to just listen to the sound of the birds, so sometimes I forget to start the radio, but what you're listening to right now, if you have any sound, I have 5 radio channels in game right now. I am scouting for more, and what you're listening to now is a channel called For Rest Ambience. And when I listen, I really like this music, and I think it's very, very soothing and wonderful. And usually I take away all the ambient and sound effect sounds when I use this channel. But other channels combine very good with the sound of the rain or the sound of the wind that blows through the leaves of Fairyland, and I don't take away the ambience and sound effects when I listen to those channels. Like my favorite channel that goes wonderful with rain is Miriavin, and I can't really... well, like Chamaris is also a very favorite. Like all the music that I have in game right now is music that I really listen to and handpicked, that I've been kind of obsessed with for many years, long before I started to even think about ever making a game like the Merry Fairy. So I really hope that you don't do like me and remember to start the radio and pick your favorite radio channel. in Fairyland. And there are also, I collaborate with other wonderful creative people who made games that fit well with the Merry Fairy. So right now I have decorations from Pieced Together, as I mentioned before, and they're lovely, and I had so much trouble picking my favorite ones. But I hope you'll have a lot of fun. I think my most favorite one is the dancing onion. And there are also stickers from another game made by a friend called The Abbas Garden, and that is a gardening game. And the reason I chose to bundle with those games is because Piece Together is a scrapbook journaling game that tells a story, which is something that some of you had hoped for in the Merry Fairy, but I didn't want to add a story because I want you to explore the story of your heart. And I hope that you will enjoy the story of Pieced Together. And I bundled with the Abbas Garden because some of you really wanted to get out of the Fairy's desk and explore Fairyland, but that is not an option currently in my cottage, and so I wanted to bundle with a game that has a beautiful garden. So I hope that you will give the Abbas Garden a try. Yeah. Since this is my home and you are my guest, instead of this is my game and you are my player, I do have some trouble. Like, I never write down, like, I made 27 decorations and 72 features or whatnot, so I don't even think about it. There's more. I hope you might discover it. Thank you. Thank you for watching this. I hope you will enjoy the latest update at the Merry Fairy. The game is discounted by 30% for 1 week. And yeah, enjoy. Bye.